Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Criterion. Roman Polanski is a French and Polish film director, producer, screenwriter and actor. He is the recipient of numerous accolades including an Academy Award, 2 British Academy Film Awards, 9 César Awards, 2 Golden Globes and a Golden Bear and Palme d'Or. His own personal look at his childhood in Poland during Nazi occupation was realised in his film The Pianist, but perhaps his most famous film is the chilling Rosemary's Baby from 1968, and that of course is a proud member of the Criterion collection. But his film career began back in 1962 with Knife in the Water, which was Oscar nominated and of course was then where we saw his propensity as a director to both chill and inject paranoia and fear into his cinema audiences. Now this was quickly followed up with Repulsion in 1965. Repulsion is his English language breakthrough film and the first of 3 films that he would make in the UK, and this truly established his reputation as a master of psychological horror. Catherine Deneuve delivers one of her most intense performances as Carol, a young woman who, holding up in a London flat after her sister goes on vacation, begins to lose her already tenuous grip on reality. Instead of analysing the heroine's mounting sense of terror, Polanski gradually inhabits her point of view, employing surreal dream imagery and extreme close-ups to emphasise the hostile encroachment of her surroundings. As Bill Horrigan observes in the essay included in the release of the film, Repulsion is filmmaking strictly in the present tense, unsettling for the immediacy with which it depicts its protagonist's violent downward spiral. Now the film debuted at the 1965 Cannes Film Festival before receiving theatrical releases internationally. Upon its release, Repulsion received considerable critical acclaim and currently is considered to be by many one of Polanski's greatest works. The film was nominated for a BAFTA award for Gilbert Taylor's cinematography. The story for Repulsion was conceived by Roman Polanski and Gerard Braque, who wrote an outline of the script in Paris. Polanski, who had recently relocated from his native Poland to the United Kingdom, decided to set the film in London. According to Polanski, the inspiration for the screenplay was actually derived from a woman of whom he and Braque were mutual acquaintances, and who Polanski later learned suffered from schizophrenia. Polanski and Braque pitched the film to numerous English studios, including British Lion Films and Paramount Pictures, but each passed on the project. They eventually proposed the project to a smaller film studio called Compton Films. This was a small English-based studio known for making exploitation films and softcore pornography, and thank goodness that Compton agreed to distribute this film. Filming was challenging for Polanski as he was unfamiliar with London shooting locations, and both he and star Deneuve were not fluent in English. Additionally, Polanski was meticulous about shots. Michael Klinger recalled witnessing Polanski shoot a simple frame of Deneuve's hand 27 times. The production eventually went over budget, of course, partly due to Polanski's perfectionistic tendencies, totalling approximately £95,000, opposed to the original budget, which was £65,000. Repulsion was considered the first instalment in Polanski's apartment trilogy, followed by Rosemary's Baby in 1968 and The Tenant in 1976, both of which are horror films that also take place primarily inside apartment buildings. Polanski's casting of Catherine Deneuve as the woman in distress was genius casting, as audiences had only really seen her previously in lighter features. In fact, just the year before, she had made The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. Now, I loved watching her fall apart. It was not only cathartic, but also intriguing to cinema audiences at the time, and of course, it did Deneuve's career no harm as well. She was only aged 21 when she made the film. Today, Deneuve still speaks very highly of Polanski and Repulsion, of course, and as a young actress with no formal training, she said that she'd learned important elements of her craft from that director. Repulsion finally arrives in the UK Criterion collection on Blu-ray with the following special features. There's a new restored high-definition digital transfer approved by the director Roman Polanski with uncompressed mono soundtrack. Audio commentary featuring Polanski and the actress Catherine Deneuve. A British horror film, 2003. It's a documentary on the making of Repulsion, featuring interviews with Polanski, producer Gene Gutowski and cinematographer Gil Taylor, among others. And a 1964 television documentary filmed on the set of Repulsion with rare footage of Polanski and Deneuve at work. Original theatrical trailers, and of course, as always, a new essay by the film scholar and curator Bill Horrigan. And cover art for Polanski's Repulsion is by Steve Chow. Thanks to its disturbing detail and Polanski's adeptness at turning claustrophobic space into an emotional minefield, Repulsion is a surreal, mind-bending odyssey into personal horror, and it remains one of cinema's most shocking psychological thrillers. And I'll let you watch Repulsion and decide that for yourself. The film itself has an aspect ratio of 1:85:1, no black bars, and a running time of 105 minutes, and it comes to Blu-ray in the UK on Monday the 22nd of May as Spine 483.